Yeah, I try to get in there either early or, or later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there's less traffic.
Yeah.
Ready to rock?
Ready to rock and roll, man. Let's do
Alrighty,
it.
James. Thanks for coming on to the pod today, man.
Yeah, dude. No, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
When I got your text, it was, kind of just a, kind of like a dream come true for me, man.
Yeah.
So definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's been a cool connection, like meeting out. Like I think the first time, like we had passed in the hallways a handful of times in the co-working space, and then I think it was that Thanksgiving luncheon thing that they put on over there. Me, you, and Talon. That was like, oh, this guy's a cool guy. That was like one of the first times we started talking.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's wild how Thanksgiving just brings us together, especially when we're all working a different grind like that too, and just like, all right, let's go sit down for 15 minutes and actually talk like normal human beings.
Yes.
It's weird how that works.
Yes. Yes. That turn off the grind set and become like, oh yeah, we're still kind of semi-normal people.
Exactly.
Kinda. We all moved to Austin from somewhere up north, so can't be too normal. But you've got like a really interesting background. Straight into the Air Force after high school, military, and then now like just finished a degree back in August, and then now kind of starting up a men's coaching program.
That's
so
it.
it's let's get into that, like that backstory a little bit. Like, what were some of the main, I guess, takeaways like during your time in the military that made you interested in, like, I guess I don't know if issues or just the things of men in kind of 20s and 30s. That's a lot of your kind of cohort, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the military was, I think, you take different lessons as you go on in life. You get so much all at once, but then you don't realize that such a small portion of the population is in the military, and you take all these little specific skills with you. So I think the biggest thing for me is kind of where it all started from. And with all of the traveling that I had to do in the military, I found myself in hotels. I was, bouncing from time zones sometimes, just the nature of the job. And I found that I really needed, or what I was doing is I was on my phone. I was in different cities. I didn't have a community, a connection base in there. And dude, I was just lonely, isolated. And just like normal people, what am I doing? I'm getting on my phone. I'm getting on social media, getting on porn. And that was just kind of like my outlet for a long time. And then throw on like just the constant schedule, the stress on top of it. You're busy, and you just take all these mechanisms with you for most of your 20s on top of partying, your hungover, like all these things that kind of just roll into that.
Mm-hmm.
But then what really got me into coaching is I found that I was just slowly taking these things out of my life and not really realizing like how hard it was. Like porn was my biggest thing that I did. And, that was such a hard process for me. I found myself just falling on my face over and over and over again with it. I said, okay, I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to join a program. I'm going to get my own coaching.
Yep.
I'm going to pay someone to help me get the shortcut, right? And what I did, it worked. And I still fell on my face a couple of times, but at least I had that structure. I had that accountability side. So I said, okay, porn's gone. And then what I realized, like, you kind of replace something with something else. So what am I doing more? Social media, phone. And then I got rid of social media. Okay, great. What am I doing? I'm just now refreshing emails over again.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't escape it, man. So I realized that was one of my bigger problems was purely your phone. So you look at that and you're like, okay, now I need to remove my phone. And it became like, okay, I want to do this. And this is even before I decided to get into coaching. But, about a year ago, I took a break from work. And I wanted to travel, didn't focus on anything, just literally traveled, clear my head. And that's where I was still working with coaches for myself to get myself better. And I was like, okay, I like coaching. I like helping men. And I started seeing all of the other problems as I started telling my story. Guys were very similar to me. They were lonely. They were anxious. They were buried on their phones. I was like, wow, okay, maybe there's something here. So I decided I'm going to go into coaching. Still didn't have an idea of what that looked like for me. Originally, I was going to do like dating or something like normal, right? Like what everyone's doing. But then I found that your phone, social media, porn was such a problem.
Yeah.
And then as I started removing my phone more and more, creating boundaries around it, like not having my phone in public or just wherever. And I started noticing, like, I looked up and I'm like, whoa.
There's stuff going on.
Yeah, literally. So you start noticing like these different nuances about just being outside, birds chirping. You know, like I was telling you earlier, you sit down in the courtyard and you just have like these different sounds, experiences, smells even, man, that when you're just so present, it just comes to you. But then I also saw like everyone else was just buried on their phones, whether that's in the gym, public, whatever. And I said, okay, this is exactly where I need to be. And now I'm just riding the rocket ship, man.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't felt like this in a really long time, where I know I'm exactly where I need to be, man. And it's so fun. And hearing the testimonials just over and over again of guys being more present, more grounded, like you can't beat it, man.
Yeah, that was a lot of my same experience. I was about 20 years old, like generally pretty anxious, uptight kid. Like, and porn was something that, like, I think it's probably one of the more consistent things that shows up for men in the digital age. And I kind of like hit my own kind of rock bottom with it of just like, okay, I have no idea how to fix this. I had done like a coaching program before and I couldn't find any help with that for me. And I know that was something that worked for you. And I think in like hindsight, a lot of the stuff that I saw in the coaching program, it like helped once I had like just some experience stuff shift in my life. And one of the first ones for me was when I kind of like hit a reset rock bottom kind of point, was like, it was a song by the Eagles. Take It Easy was their song. That was one of the first things that stuck out to me. And then a passage in the Old Testament book Ecclesiastes of like, it was basically a paraphrase. You can like spend all your time like building, I guess then it would have been like temples and structures and all this stuff. For now, it would be like building businesses and like grinding it out in school. You can spend all that time, but like at the end of the day, if you're not like enjoying your time with your friends, you're not enjoying the food and drink that you have and enjoying like what God gave you, like you don't have anything. It's basically that like, if you don't take time to just sit and be thankful and enjoy what you do have. And so it was spring when this was coming out. So I was like, I'm just going to go sit out on the campus mall and just sit there and play my guitar.
Yeah.
And it was that like, it is very grounding because it centers you. It triggers all of your senses. You see people walking around, you see the sun, you smell the wind blowing, the spring breeze, you hear the birds, like you see the squirrels running around, you feel the grass between your toes. Like it's very human. And I think that is something that we are losing kind of in a digital age where it takes us like into a virtual, like unphysical world when we are so like such physical beings that we need to like touch grass is the like cliche thing, but it is true, I think.
It is. And it's really, you hit it right on the head, man. We're losing that connection. I think everyone says that too, like, oh, we're just on our phones, but like when they really look of like what that really means, and what it was like before phones and everything like that. Like we need that so much, and I don't have any problems with phone, social media. Like none of that is actually bad.
Yep.
It's just where you put your attention. It's where like if you're anxious, like you said, what are you jumping to? You're jumping to whatever, fill in the blank.
Yeah, to get rid of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just you're in a constantly reactive state over and over and over again. But that's really a lot of what I teach. Like I don't use any blockers. Like there's none of that, man. No like things that you're just going to bypass anyways. It's really just let's rewire your behavior. Let's pause for a second. Do I need to look at my phone? Do I need to do this? And then really just laying out your day how you need to and being very intentional with your time, your connections, your relationships, and your presence as you're going just about your life as well.
Yeah, attention is like, I loved what you said there of like figuring out where you want to put your attention. Because like that is everything, and a lot of it isn't intentional. We let stuff hit us, and we're kind of reacting a lot. I remember when I first moved down here to Austin, for like the first month and a half, I was basically just like saying yes to everything that came up. And by the end of it, I felt like I was on my heels the whole time. It's just like bouncing from thing to thing, never feeling like you can never feeling like I could get to that point where I was like holding the reins. I was like on my back foot. And it came down to like, okay, what am I going to intentionally pick? Like this stays and this goes. And it's like, that is what's going on with, sounds like you, with your guys, is you're saying, what are you going to intentionally do in your day? Who are you going to go and see? Not like, what are you going to not do, but what are you going to do? It's this, what are you wanting to put your attention at?
Exactly. And when you have that intentionality behind it, you get so much more out of your day too, man. You know, like you said, you're not constantly trying to grab the reins as they're falling on the ground. They're literally like, no, you're controlled. And then when you're in like a moment, you're not worried about other things. So that ability to compartmentalize your day and just say, okay, like I'm only going to worry about work right now. I'm not going to check messages. I'm not going to check emails. I'm literally just going to do this one little thing, or I'm going to be present with this one person, you know, and give them that respect. Because I think that's the best gift that you can give to someone, man. You know, and when you're not on your phone or you're not just all over the place, it is literally the best gift you can ever give to anyone, man.
Yeah, because it says you matter.
Exactly.
And that's like, and that's one thing we were talking about at the very beginning of this, but then when we had lunch was that loneliness thing. And where do you think, like, so in your case, you were traveling a lot. You didn't have a built-in community there, but we were also talking that, like, most people aren't the traveling military guy, but this loneliness thing still seems to be a problem. Where do you think that comes from? Why do you think that tends to be a universal problem for men, especially?
For men especially, I think it's because we bury our emotions and we don't talk about what is actually going on in front of us. So say like you're not getting the likes on dating apps. And I remember listening to another podcast where it's something like you have to go through 200 likes just to get one date or something like that. So you're already battling the numbers as a man in general. Maybe you don't know how to date. Maybe you don't know how to go out and make relationships. But now you're seeing just constantly over and over and over again in front of you what everyone else is doing. Only really the good, which that's not how life works. Life is messy. Life gets bad. And I think that takes away the motivation because like you said, where if you go out, you can feel just so overwhelmed. There's so many different directions you can go. And then you're just like, I can do this. And then you don't want to do anything. And then you're just isolated again. And I think that is especially prevalent for men because it's like, if you don't have that purpose, drive, direction, community already, then you just don't even know where to go. And then where are you burying everything else in?
Yeah. How have you seen, like, what are your, as a coach and just someone who has prioritized community, like what are some of the easiest, lowest barrier entry ways to start building that kind of sense of community there?
Hey, I'm James. Literally, man. Yeah, that's
a great point.
You know, just go up to anyone. You know, that is still undefeated for me. If I go up to someone at the gym, you know, they're like, dude, yeah, let's talk. It's like people are just craving that right now, man. But church is a great way. Men's group, having a strong men's group, man, I can't tell you enough. Like that is just literally a game changer where you can just go and it's a place for you just to talk about like not only learning about God and the Bible like me, because I am just very lost, but I want to learn. But then you can just talk about life problems, whatever, and just be just open and honest. You know, it's so important, man.
Yeah, I've had that experience right around that same time after it was like, okay, to learn to enjoy life, but like to enjoy being present and enjoy like the kind of simple pleasures was that lesson, but also keeping good friends close. Because I was a Navy brat. So like I had lived in 7 different states, moved around a bunch like you did. And end up coming to like my sophomore, junior year of college without like, I had like college friends that I could go like watch a football game, play basketball with, shoot pool, whatever. But I didn't have that like intentional group of guys that like I knew I could go call when like it's Friday night and there's nothing going on and you're just like bored and kind of lonely and sad, and like where you would usually go play video games or just kind of like sulk and like scroll or whatever, that I could go call. And that was one of those things of like, okay, I've got this good friend from back home. Let's like reach out more. And like, I still to this day, like all my best friends don't live close to me, but it was a couple of those first steps of like, okay, you graduated, you were my pledge father in my fraternity, but I want to make sure we stay in touch. And it was sending that text, like somewhat similar to like, hey, I'm James. It's like a similar like, hey, Caleb, how's it going? Just even that. And then it scaled to the point where I was his best man in his wedding. And
let's go,
like,
dude. Yeah.
And it's just that's happened. Like 4 of my best friends got married in the last year and a half, and I was in all their weddings. And like 3 years ago, I don't know if I would have said I was close friends with any of them. And it was just small intentional decisions when we were apart. It's like, you don't know what you have while you're with it. And then you get separated. Like I've spent a handful of summers like away from school and away from where I grew up. And it's when you go to a place where you know you don't have anybody, that separation made me realize what I did have in some of those friendships and to make me want to cultivate those.
That's common, man, with military families.
Yeah.
Just in general, where you have to constantly, because there's so much turnover with your friends. I think that's a blessing, man. You know, because more or less the same thing happened to me when I got in the military. Is every couple of years I would have to get new friends again. So I think that's a gift for you. You know, where you can still go out and make friends and meet people, but just good on you on keeping those relationships strong. On Paige, actually, like I was talking about, blue fishing from Steve Sims, he talks about like when you're traveling, you know, he does this for clients, but just friends and family too. Send like a little like random like hotel stationery or postcard or something that's like very unique to them.
Yeah.
And, you know, people just really appreciate those little personalized details that come with that, right? And especially if you handwrite it and everything, man, and it gets all the stamp marks and the customs, like that's so cool because that tells such a better story. And they're like, wow, I was not expecting this at all, man. And that's what truly builds, you know, those relationships that make you best men in their weddings like that, man.
Yeah, and I had that experience during Thanksgiving. I've got some family up in East Texas, about 5.5 hours from here. I wasn't gonna fly or drive the 17 hours back to Indiana for Thanksgiving, but went to go hang out with some family up there. And this year I decided to do voice messages.
Okay, yeah, dude.
Send like a minute or two voice message rather than saying, hey, Caleb, happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful, da, 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 da. But it's like, just hit the little voice memo button, send them a minute or two. And like every guy I talked to after that was like, I really appreciated that. Because that is a lot of what we're missing. I think that goes back to your point of like that vulnerability is like no one feels real. Like, and they don't see people being real. And so that's what that little note is, that postcard. It's a little aspect of real. That's what the voice message is. It's the real, like they hear my voice saying the things. It's not a quick text. And I think we are craving the real, because that's also what we get when you're sitting outside in the courtyard. You're hearing the birds chirp. Like there's something like real, tangible to that. Like you can touch it almost. And I think we don't get enough real these days.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting, man. I read a statistic that 70% of all content is going to be AI generated. 90% of porn in 5 years is going to be AI generated.
That's going to be crazy.
So it's like it's only going to get more manufactured. Which, you know, it's interesting because it's like then you can manufacture really your own reality of what you want to see after that, man.
Yep, you can make sure you don't. I mean, there's already like I grew up very suburban most of the time. Like, and that means you don't necessarily have to know any of your neighbors. You can go get grocery store delivered straight to you. Like, pull up to the spot, throw it in your trunk, and you leave. You can go through the drive-through. It's just like you put these walls up between people because of convenience, and it's just like that's going to be another one of those. Is just another detractor from the human experience. And that's one thing we were both talking about as we were walking in here was like the human experience, Gen Z versus millennial, because you're on the tail end of millennial and I'm like right in the heart of Gen Z. So I think a lot of these things we're talking about gets attributed to Gen Z, as we were talking about before we started. And so and that's something we were talking about, like, or actually, can you go ahead and talk about that more, of like that this isn't just a Gen Z kind of thing? Everyone talks about that, but that it's a silent problem for some guys a little bit older.
Absolutely. And so I'll dive into it. Of like, I'll give you a perfect example. I was telling my mom about it, about what I do, and she kind of just started a little rant of like my boyfriend and his phone and Facebook. And, you know, they're in their 50s, almost about to be 60. So it doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter the different generations. It is purely like, where is your attention going? You know, but people are noticing. It's just such a normalized thing that no one necessarily talks about it. It's like when smoking was everything. People used to smoke on airplanes. That is insane to me. Like, that was normal. So it really isn't just a generation thing. It just becomes such a normalized thing because there's, you know, something like 3 billion or 4 billion phones in the world. 3 billion people are on social media. Like, that is going against, you know, or that is literally the norm. You know, statistically, because there's only like 7 or 8 billion people in the world, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, but I think it starts, like, you have to like remember like what it was like before, you know?
And I'm wondering if in the future we're going to look at, similar to like they're smoking on airplanes.
Yeah.
That we might look back in 30, 40 years. It's like, can you believe, this is what I hope will happen, is that we'll look back, it's like, can you believe people were on their phones like at the dinner table together?
Yeah.
Like when you go to restaurants and it's just like this guy and this girl look like they're on a date and they're just doing that number. It's just, I hope we get to that point where we're like, gosh, can you believe it when we did that?
Yeah, dude, I was in Europe last year and in Portugal, and I saw a family having dinner, and they had their phones actually stacked right at the edge of the table, but they were just enjoying each other. And I just smiled a little bit. I said, man, there's still hope, you know, but it takes a little bit of a reset in order for that to happen. And enough people have to start talking about it.
Yep.
You know, I think that's what it really comes down to, man. But it is everyone. My grandma doom scrolls Facebook, like it. And again, nothing is bad about it. It's just, where is your attention going? You know, that thing that is still making us human. That's what we need to remember. The one-on-one conversations, the feeling, the touch.
Yep.
You know, the goods, the bads. Yeah, that's what we really have to remember.
What were some things for you that helped bring you out of that? You said you listened to some podcasts. Like, were there some people or like role models or maybe like even movie characters, songs? Like, what helped like inspire you to make some of those changes of like, okay, I'm going to put my phone down and go say, hey, my name's James. Like, were there any of those kind of situations for you?
Yeah. I think the porn was just trial and error. But I always wanted to be like James Bond, man. You know, just like the suave, the really just like gentleman type. And I started seeing like, okay, what does that look like? You know, and then I started building. I'm like, it's not what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, being out in public. It's not like especially when you're on a date, right? And you're out on a date and you get to enjoy the beauty of a woman and just learning how her mind works and about her. That's something that is just so cool to me. So like, it's like setting the example. Who are you setting the example for? So like mine was James Bond, but I couldn't find anyone else really in public that was like, that guy is sharp. So I had to start kind of like falling on my face over and over of just trial and error and figuring out myself. Because I realized, like, if I start doing this and I start leading the example, people will follow. One of the best examples I can say is like my brother, and he's like right behind me. He's only about 3 years behind me. And he's following me like right behind me. He's like, dude, like, you're on to something, like, keep going.
Yeah.
And seeing him grow, like, that's the coolest thing in the world, man. Because what happens is everyone starts watching, like, oh, that guy isn't on his phone. That guy is in the gym, doesn't have headphones in. And people are watching. I was even literally at the gym yesterday and I was just screaming out loud because no one was listening because everyone and I was testing. I was seeing like how loud I could be before people start reacting to me. I said, yeah, I help guys just break away from porn, get their screen time down below 90 minutes and make them more money. Like literally was just saying that in the middle of the gym. And people were like, who is this guy? But that's like just the level of conviction I started having around it, man. But it's just like you start doing these little things and you start leading the way,
it's
for other
contagious. Guys. Like because I've seen that with some of my best friends that I keep up with. It's like having this positive momentum around when one person starts like kind of, I'm not necessarily figuring it out, but like out trying. Almost like trying is contagious. Like me and three of my roommates all kind of decided somewhat independently of each other to like start doing content creation stuff. And it's like, oh, he got his video done this week. I didn't. Like it creates this like positive momentum. And I like what you were saying about James Bond. Like that was kind of your example. What about the James Bond character? You said suave.
Yeah.
Like was that just like slick, stylish?
Yeah, just a gentleman, man.
Yeah.
Just the gentleman. I don't know, something about like I have a picture of an Aston Martin DB. I think it's a DB5 as my wallpaper, But it's just like the style. I think I just grew up in the wrong era in general, man. Like 1960s. That's where I should be. But yeah, no, that's just my like style. I just love like how you take like James Bond, you put effort into how you dress, how you walk, how you talk.
Yep.
And it's all these little things that again you lead by example and someone else starts following you.
Yeah, because I guess in my case, I like Western stuff. Like I'm very much into like neo-Western is a new like TV genre. A lot of people loved Yellowstone. I watched the first season, binged it on a plane over to Greece, so part of it all like blurred together, but it didn't catch me. But it had 2 prequels. Have you seen or heard of the prequels?
No.
So 1883.
Okay, yes, I literally am watching it right now.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, that one's so good.
Yeah, Sam Elliott, man, is the man.
Dude,
yeah.
That wicked mustache and that deep voice. Badass.
You would
dude.
Love a Landman too.
Yes,
Landman is fantastic.
That's the next one I'm gonna get to in the new year. I just got Paramount.
Yep.
last week.
Just watch all of Lamb. That's all you need it for. It's so good, man.
Yeah, because it's also got 1883 and then 1923.
Yep, that's my next one.
Yes.
I'm like, I can watch all these together.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Good.
And there's a character in 1923. Spencer Dutton is his name.
Okay.
I guess I don't know how much I should talk about it if you're getting ready to.
Nah, I'll be all right, man.
Yeah,
I don't mind spoilers.
Basically, like, I don't think this spoils much of it, but was World War I veteran, and then like wrestling with himself, like just starts wild beast hunting in Africa.
Jeez.
Like just stays overseas and then just like kills lions and stuff at these like British camps and stuff because everyone's like, ooh, I want to go on safari and like all this stuff going to.
Hold on, do that again.
What?
I want to go safari.
Want to go on safari. And so in like 1920s Africa, it's like still the bush. So it's like they need an American to go shoot stuff for them. But he's like this like crazy, like rugged, like kind of quiet, slightly philosophical, slightly poetic character. And that like stuck out a lot to me a couple summers ago when I was like trying to figure out who do I want to emulate. I didn't know I was like trying to find the person to emulate, but my parents watched 1883 over Christmas. I mean, like 3 Christmases ago with my grandparents. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I joined like halfway through. And then we watched 1923 the next summer when I was back from school. And I saw that character, and that was like, there's something there. You kind of just like, for you, there's probably like this stirring, like almost in your soul, like there's something right about that. And for me, that like rugged, rough around the edges type, that's kind of like the Western cowboy kind of thing. Like Zach Bryan was like has been my top artist on Spotify 3 years in a row. And it kind of embodies that what I didn't have. I didn't have this ability to like let loose, be comfortable with my own like faults, like embracing faults. It was something where I felt like I had to be controlled and curated at all times. So I had to stay within the social custom, like no controversy, not gonna raise, like I remember at like 12 years old, my mom saying like, Noah's just like middle of the road. Like he's not gonna, just steady middle of the road. And I was like always trying to stay in that like safe kind of spot. But part of what makes life special is those moments that you can't predict. And if you can like be comfortable with when you're gonna slip up, when you're gonna fuck up, when you're gonna trip and fall and stumble, and if you can laugh at that, if you can be comfortable with that, like that's the main lesson I had to learn from that. Because that character, that guy, all what he was doing was in the uncertainty. He was in the bush in Africa, didn't know if a lion was going to come and try to kill one of his clients. He's just out there. And there's something that I think a lot of young people are missing, because we can control and curate everything. You were saying about AI. It's at a certain point we'll be able to like have AI make the thing that we want to see. We'll be in like recreating our own echo chamber of sorts, almost. Like where you can have your own AI girlfriend that says exactly all the things you want to say. But then it's like neutered. Like when you were saying like getting to know a girl, you're out walking around and like she says something funny or you like slip your words or whatever. And it's just like this funny, unique moment that would have never happened if you had it completely curated. Like life without the edge, without the like uncertain, it's not really life. And everything we have is trying to control, and like I think we're just uncomfortable with that, with uncertainty.
Yeah. Well, especially with how quick we can get access to certainty, to answers, to whatever that is. And then it's like, okay, it's done. But there's so much beauty within the chaos, you know? There really is, man. There really is. There is, I don't know, like, I think that like Will Smith said it best one time of like the best things in life are literally right behind fear, you know, and uncertainty. And sometimes you just jump. And I think he used the analogy when he was jumping out of an airplane, and it's just like that bliss that happens when you skydive, right? But it's that uncertainty, you know. And if you live your life like that every single day and you just don't know what's going to happen, you go talk to that girl, you go out, you go get on a plane to Greece somewhere.
You go say, "Hey, I'm James."
Exactly. You say, "Hey, I'm James." You know, you never know how that opens up different doors for you. You know, you really don't. And it's amazing what happens when you just do and when you take that step. I think that is something that gets thrown around a lot. Yeah. But like, how many people will actually do that, man? I don't know.
Yeah, I remember it was a few Sundays ago, you were sitting in that conference room a couple rooms down. And I was like coming through and working on my YouTube video, and I was in one of those moments like, gotta have like the perfect script. And you're like, just do it, man.
Just send it, man.
I was like, no, I've got to have it perfect.
Yeah, I was in my LinkedIn video mode, and I'm like, I'm sending everything, man. If it's sticking against the wall, just send it. Yeah, no, you just got to do it sometimes, man.
And like, I'm talking with one of my best friends that he's been working this job in construction for a year. Like he was a kinesiology major, and then he switched to construction management and graduated with that. And he's like, I'm going to go work with my hands and work outside. And it was solid for the first 6 months. And now he's like, I want to do something else.
Yep.
And that when you know, that's kind of the hard part, is when you know what you're doing now isn't the right thing. But then there's like, you don't know which path is the right one to take. And that's like, thinking that there is a right one to take is almost like, that's a problem I get into. It's like, there's got to be like the way to do the YouTube video. There's the way to do the podcast, but you almost just have to try. Like, try and fall flat on your face. Try this method for ditching porn. Try this method for asking a girl out. And it's like, you can't like curate the whole thing because we don't know. Like, I don't know what the best way to start a podcast is. And you kind of have to just try and throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And like, in every aspect of life, with dating, with work, with relationships, with even your hobbies, like, all of it is like, comes down to just try. Because that's how you like gain information. It's like, you can't make a decision on which way to go if you have to feel like you have to have the right answer, because there is no, like, you just don't have any data. Like, and it just makes our minds spin up in circles.
And speaking of spinning up in circles, like, especially when you are trying different things, you can really start like losing focus. You're like, ah, shit, I did it again. Or like, I'm just like so burned out or whatever. So you get burned out with trying, and then you're like, why isn't this working? And then you become so frustrated with it. And then you're like, oh, I don't know. And then you're like, just go try something else. And then it has to be a game for you. Like, you make it just a fun, stupid little game. You know, so I'll share an example with you. I started swimming laps, you know, this summertime in my pool. And the pool's like 55 feet deep, or 55 feet, not deep, 55 feet long. And I like challenged myself to swim like one underwater lap holding my breath. And I said, okay, this is fun. But then you do that, you're like, okay, I can do maybe more. So then you just start doing more and more. And then eventually you get done. You're like, wow, okay, I did it. But you have so much like fear of like, you're going to drown. Somebody's going to have to call Karen, who's my mom. She's going to be pissed. You know, all these all these different things. But what you learn about yourself is like just doing something consistently like that. And you're like, oh shit, I can do that. And then it just builds and builds and builds. Then you're like, oh, well, what else can I do? And that's the craziest thing that starts happening is like, and I understand why the most successful people start unlock like, or where they're at, because they just start unlocking like what you can actually do. You unlock like different people coming into your life. You unlock different opportunities. You unlock just like these craziest things that just start happening to you, man. And then you're like, wow, you know, and then you have that moment where you kind of come to, and it's just like surreal to you. Like, that's your reality right now. But it's because you said yes to all these different opportunities and weren't afraid of that fear to just jump in and do it.
Yeah. It's just to go, it's like Nike, like, just do it. Like it, there is something to that, even though I hate Nike. I don't wear anything Nike.
No, you're not a fan of Nike.
Not a fan of Nike.
That's okay. I haven't worn Nike in years either. So.
Yeah. So what's the kind of future of your coaching thing? Like, what's your dream? What's your kind of trajectory with that?
So right now it's just helping as many men as possible. And then eventually I want to really niche into like aviation sales professionals, so I can be around airplanes again. Because I just have such a love for aviation. But right now it's just helping as many people as possible. So maybe building the business to a certain point, and then like another shred off of the business. I don't know yet. I know that I want to be around airplanes. I love helping men, especially. But what that looks like, I have no idea. I'm just enjoying this weird ride right now. It's just like you have that kind of direction, and I'm like, all right, let's just go try different things. But it's like the idea of just going to like air shows or something would be really cool. But then it's like, all right, everyone that I need is right in front of me too. So we'll see what happens with that, you know. And I'm sure there'll be 50 more directions with my brain. I'll be like, that looks good. That looks good. Let's try this. Let's try this, you know. And just go from there, man. Yeah, but that's really where I see it. And you know, I know I'm right where I need to be because I'm not like wanting to run away from this right now. For so long in my life, I was just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. Let's try this. And I really have had to sit with this, be like, okay, yeah, you know, maybe this is like long. It's taken a little while, but I'm just enjoying it, you know. And it's moments that starting to prepare you. Like I know this is just like the beginning, or like eventually it's gonna be like in front of groups of people, thousands of people, you know. And I'm just like, that brings me so much life to what I get to do, man.
Yeah, it's kind of just there's a hope for the future. It's kind of like makes me think of maybe I think like the end of Revenge of the Sith. That kind of end scene where the kids are born, like you get the sunrise on Tatooine.
Yeah.
It's like that, you know, and then you get A New Hope is movie 4.
Exactly.
And I think there's like, it's making some progress kind of gives you that. Like, I have no idea what the podcast, I'm just like starting this up.
Just let it ride, man. Just let it ride. Hold on. What's the best Star Wars for you?
I really like 3 and 6.
Oh, thank God. I'm glad you didn't say any of the new ones, man. Minus Rogue One. Rogue One was pretty solid because it tied everything in together. But I'm actually the same. I like 3 and I like 6.
Yep.
Because the green lightsaber in 6.
Yes. Yep. Those both have the best lightsaber duels.
Yeah.
And when I was like 10 years old, that was the thing. Like that final battle in Revenge.
Yeah. It's so
you can
good.
Just feel it.
Did you ever get the action figures?
I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I did Legos.
Okay.
We did Star Wars Legos.
Yeah. Have you stepped on a Lego as an adult? God, man.
Not in a I did as like in middle school and high school. I do remember those moments when we let the Legos out and we'd step on them. Oh gosh. Do you have any like hobbies like that? Like you have any like remnants of childhood stuff that you like? Legos or?
No, I was an airplane nerd, man.
Yeah.
It was all, I couldn't fit one of those in the house. So
yeah.
No, I just still watch like airplane documentaries
on
YouTube. Like I'm like literally I'll watch them be built and everything.
Yeah.
And but not around the house.
Yeah.
No, I eventually want like one of those like little die-cast ones.
Yeah.
No.
Are you gonna be one of those guys that has like a little an airplane out in the barn that you'll go?
Yeah. You know, just go putter around a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know much about airplanes. Is there like a specific era of plane that you like?
I mean, they're all cool.
Yeah.
I really like I don't know, man. I like them all. They're all just like, there's just such a little piece of magic that goes with all airplanes. The new stuff is really cool, but then like just seeing like the old World War II planes and everything, that's I love that, man. Just oil and grease and just how those still fly.
Yeah,
is amazing to me. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my best friends, he's that way with trains.
Okay.
Like him and I will be sitting down and eating, and he'll hear a train, and I can just see him like unlock from like we're just sitting there talking, and then he hears a train, and I can just like see the gears turn in his mind of like, focus off the conversation, focus on the train.
That's a fact, man. That's I can relate to that. So my dad actually builds locomotives too.
Seriously?
Yeah, so every single time that there's one with a Union Pacific flag,
okay,
I'm like, oh, my dad probably actually built that.
That's sick.
So, like the ones that drive by here at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, well, my dad built that, but it's waking everyone up.
Yeah.
So
for me, I'm that way with like music.
Okay.
Like especially like anything rock from the like if it's just in rock or country, like I nerd out about like genres of like post Nirvana, you get like all these like factions of like different alternative rock. You get like Green Day, you get Creed, you get like Oasis, you get like all this. So that's like when I am in a restaurant and I hear a song that I recognize, or even if it's not something song I recognize, but I'm like, what genre is that? It's like, this is probably, it's got this aspect of this. So like for For you, it's airplanes. For my buddy, it's trains. For me, it's like music and music genres. And
I love it, man. What do you play?
I do.
Okay. You play everything. That's usually how musicians go. They play a little bit of everything.
I'm just guitar and sing.
Okay. Cool.
I picked up guitar junior year of high school.
Yeah. Okay.
My baseball season got canceled with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I was a junior in high school when COVID hit, so baseball season was over, and my dad had an old electric guitar that, plus like, there's this game, is an Xbox game. It was actually what I learned to play guitar on. That
Like
you can
Guitar Hero?
No, it's called Rocksmith.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're like a normal amp plug-in that you would plug your guitar into.
Oh, you can
it
plug
had
it
an
into the
adapter
Xbox.
that you can plug into the Xbox.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you could like see all the notes from the game. Like, so it was somewhat similar to like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, where you've got the notes and you got like. But I learned to play guitar doing that. Like, here comes this note. Oh, I got it. It's just, and so now I play a lot of like folk country. That's kind of like what I like to strum on. So
that's cool, man. What about do you get into like the 12-string guitar or anything like that and like really mix it up?
I've played a mandolin.
Okay,
So I played and that's 8 strings, very similar to the 12 string. So it's got 4 notes, but it's got a very like that full airy kind of sound like a 12 string. I haven't gotten into 12 strings. I've tried my hand at violin, but it's like going from here to here is like so wonky. So only the mandolin and the guitar. I'd like to pick up banjo at some point. Those things, they're just so iconic. But
well, it has such a unique sound too. The banjo really does. The mandolin, maybe I have, but you're right. It has like that full like you know sound. I'm out here talking like I'm a musician. I have no idea. All I know is just 12 string.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I know the difference. I'm like, that's a 12 string.
Uh-huh.
Like my ADHD kicks in. I'm like, is that a 12 string? I literally just look at the top. I'm like, that's how I see it's a 12 string. That's about all I know about music.
Yeah. Where do you? Are there any artists or bands that you listen to that are 12 string?
No, I could honestly like say I do not remember artists like hardly at all. And if they are popular, maybe, but other than that, man, I just do not pay attention. I'm like, who's that? And then I forget, and then because I want to talk about it.
Yep.
And then I was like,
it's gone.
That's gone.
So do you know like song names? Is that?
Yeah, it's like 50-50.
Yeah. But you listen to music.
I do. Yeah, I'm not a complete psychopath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Partial.
Yeah.
Like that rest of the psychopathy is for the planes.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Wait, I will say though, listening to nothing in the car once in a while and just
nice.
silence, you're like, whoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, when I first moved here to Austin, that was like the 10-minute drive back, like to and from. Like I was in an Airbnb for the first month and a half, so even that like 10, it would be like 10 minutes in the morning and like 25 in the evening. But like by the end of the day, I was like, I did not want to listen to any music. I'm just gonna like ride silent, just like.
So you are a psychopath.
Sometimes the guy who likes music, but will turn the music off on the drive. Like I've done that a couple times. It's kind of. I was told the other day, it's like you're too young to be turning the music off in the car.
No, just let it be nice and silent, man.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I don't know if this happens to you, but one of my best friends, he's also a musician. Used to be a lead singer, but he said like, first every time he gets in my car, he's like, I need to fix your music, man. It's giving me a headache. But it's like, is your tone different? So like if music's playing, it's like out of tone or something, or like the bass or treble's off. Does that like really bother you?
Oh, interesting. I can't say I've been able to pick up on that yet. I'm pretty sure I know some people who are like that. I didn't know I was very not musically oriented until I picked up guitar. Like I couldn't sing either, but as I started playing guitar, like I think it's something you can train, like to become more musical in like the way you think and the way you are. Like picking up guitar helped me sing better. So I'm at the point now where I can kind of like, if you were to play a note, I wouldn't know what the note is, but if I had my guitar there, I could find it. And then like, like, oh, that's an A. So, I'm not like that good with tone. Like I'm a hobbyist musician. I was in a couple bands in my senior year of college or something.
How do you become a hobbyist and go into a band? Like, I feel like you gotta like check a box to like, be good. You're doing something right.
Yeah. Like I can sing and then hold down a rhythm playing guitar. I can do that. So like I could go to an open mic and like play some songs. Like I could do
You're
that.
about to drop like a whole record out here and everything, man. Like just secretly.
Dude, songwriting is so hard. Like that's one of those things like I'm gonna at the very least do like podcast YouTube for a year. And if that like if I'm by the end of that, like like songwriting could be another thing I try, but it's like that night that you saw me like being like a Nazi about the YouTube, like I gotta have it perfect. Like that's me with like when I've tried songwriting. It's like it's so hard to like because you gotta write the chords. Okay, you got the chords, but then you gotta be able to sing a melody. So you have to have like two separate things, and then you gotta have the words match the rhythm, and then oh my gosh, I don't know how. And then you've got guys that are just crazy good songwriters. Like
there's such an art to, well, obviously it's an art, but like I love, as I've learned more about it, I love how music comes together though. How you can just layer everything, how it just works. And still like, I don't know how people do it, just bring it all together to just this masterpiece of a song.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see.
Yep. And I got to feel some of that playing in my the two bands in college because I'd only ever like strummed in my room and sang. But getting to play with a group, like it's a really cool dynamic. My pledge son, big country boy, like absolutely shred the guitar, dude. Like, oh my gosh. Like all you needed to do was lay down the rhythm and then that guy would go crazy. The first live act I ever played, it was I think it was last October. It was last October. Me and my buddy the previous semester had started up Wabash Association of Musicians was the club. It was a club on campus. Our school was Wabash, so it was going to be just a place that musicians on campus could come together, meet, and jam. And then we're like, okay, there's this like student live music thing here in October. Let's try to get a band together. And we finished with Freebird. And
from Leonard Skinner.
Dude,
so good.
Oh my
gosh,
that was like top 5 moment in my life is when my pledge son is walking off stage. He had a Bluetooth amp plug in so he could walk like 50 feet away from stage and come back and it would still come in clean over the amp, and him walking down into the crowd just oh my gosh. and then he would, when he was walking back up, he played it up over his head too. Oh my gosh.
Jeez. See that like
electric.
Leonard Skinner, I saw them for their farewell tour.
Wow.
Getting to see them play Freebird like that too, man. Dude, insane. Absolutely insane.
Oh man. Dude, I was like, it was such a cool high that I was like, what do I do with my life now? Like,
what is life after this?
It's like I peaked right there at 22. Oh man. Well, we're getting close to the end of our time. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about your Oh, I think I did have something.
Yeah, what you got, man?
Yeah, I had like 3 kind of bullet pointers. Like, what's one mindset thing that you recommend people adopt? What's one question you want people to ask? And what's one habit to change? Like if you were to give each person like one, like the people listening, one of each of those, what would your...
So for mindset, I would say, I don't want to say growth because I think that's very overused.
Yeah.
Be willing to put out what is your own or what makes you unique to the world and make that your mindset and give that so freely. What were the other 2?
Yeah. A habit to adopt and then a question to ask yourself.
Okay. Habit to adopt. And this is actually something out of my program. every time you pick up your phone, start a 1-minute timer.
Huh.
No matter what you're doing on your phone, if you switch the app, if you go to a web browser, if you pick up your phone, start a 1-minute timer. And don't do anything until that timer is over. And see how you're feeling. Say, okay, I'm not going to touch anything until that timer's up, and just, okay, look around. Be present. See what happens. See how your body's starting to react with it. And then one question I would ask is, do I need to be doing this right now? Do I need to be doing this?
I like that.
Yeah.
James, thanks for coming on the podcast.
No, thanks for having me, man. We ended so serious.
We go from talking about like our slight personal autism about music.
No, it's not slight. Like I that's a fact. Like you put an airplane up there, like I'm probably like I got it. And it could be flying, and I already know the specs. I know every like level 1000. But dude, thank you so much for having me on. This was so much fun.
Yes, and we'll have to run it back in the future, but I know we'll be bumping into each other for the foreseeable future over at Createscape, and
yeah, absolutely.
We'll chat some more and eventually have you back on. But thanks again, man.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Boom.